Okay, take it away. Yeah. Tell us what happened yesterday.
Okay, obviously there was an incident in the Elizabeth local service area involving a male that was wanted by police. It was one of the numerous offences, and during his arrest using the police dog Koda, he got injured by being stabbed a couple of times in the chest area.
Can you go into more details about the offences or that?
Oh, look, at this stage I suppose because the man's been arrested and he's waiting to go to court, it's probably not appropriate that I comment anymore on the exact nature of what happened. I guess it'll come out in the fullness of time once he goes to court.
How many wounds did Koda sustain?
2.
2 wounds? And how deep were they?
One was about 8 centimetres deep, which nicked an artery, and the other one was a little bit not quite as deep and more muscle injury on the other side of the chest.
Can you sort of point to where that deeper thing was?
Just on the left-hand side of the chest there, and the other one over here.
Senior Constable, how did it make you feel when he was injured? I mean, obviously it affects the team.
Yeah, of course. It's like I think Superintendent O'Donovan said yesterday, they are part of the police family. Obviously we care for them a lot. They come home with us, they live with us, they're part of the family for us. They're like one of our kids. I'll probably spend more time with him than I do with my wife and kids. I'm with him 24 hours a day. So of course when you see him injured and bleeding, it's not a great feeling. But having said that, I was pretty proud of him, what he did yesterday, and I think he did exactly what he's trained to do. And luckily we got him here quick enough to get him fixed up.
He was injured pretty badly, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was. Yep.
How does he look now to you?
Well, he's a little bit drugged up, his eyes are a little bit droopy. He's on a fair bit of pain medication and anti-inflammatories and other stuff. He's look, I'm just really happy, obviously, that he has been fixed up and that the vet thinks he'll make a full recovery in a bit of time. So he'll come home with me now and he'll recuperate at home. He'll probably live the life of Riley, living inside and being in the lounge and whatever else. And the kids are making a big fuss of him. So yeah, hopefully, no doubt, in a couple of weeks he'll hopefully be close back to normal.
How much does something like this sort of affect their motivation to work?
Yeah, it's probably difficult to tell.
Let's interrupt. Please, you can sort of look that way, if that's all right.
Yeah.
I know
It's probably, just let him lay down. Yeah. It's probably difficult to tell exactly what's going to happen to the dog. Every dog's a little bit different, same as people, I suppose. You'd like to think that once we get all the rehab done and we get back to training him, that hopefully it won't make any difference to how he performs on the road. And that's something that we'll look at in training, obviously, and we'll address as it comes up. So,
knowing his personality, do you think it'll affect his desire to work?
I don't think so, no. He's the sort of dog, like all of our dogs in the dog unit, it's they're very keen to go to work, they love it, as soon as the uniform goes on, they can't wait to get in the car and off they go. Their worst time of their life is when they go on holidays, so I think he'll be pretty keen to get back into it. Yeah.
Has this happened many times before, someone stabbing a police dog?
I've been there for 7 years and it's not something I've come across in my 7 years. It's not something that's a common occurrence. Obviously the dogs from time to time may get injured, same as other officers, but look, we do everything we can to try and keep them as safe as we can. It's unfortunately there's a risk involved, I suppose, with being with a police dog.
How I guess relieved are you today? I mean, obviously, when you hear about an 8 centimetre stabbing, it's pretty full on. Yeah,
I'm massively relieved, obviously, Obviously, when I phone home, told the wife and kids he's coming home, they're pretty happy to see him again, So, of course, I'm thrilled to take him home today. Yeah.
He's had a distinguished career, Simon, hasn't he, particularly in recent years?
Oh, look, he's one of, I think, 23 dogs in the unit. They all do fantastic jobs, not just him. Whether they're general purpose dogs like this one, that finds people, or whether they're finding drugs or firearms, whatever the case might be, they're all, worth their weight in gold, I think. So, yeah.
This might sound silly, but is there any chance, I mean, obviously he's got physical injuries, but the dog's, is trauma going to be a problem? Is he actually going to be okay to go back to work eventually, psychologically? I know.
Yeah, look, not being an animal, psychologist, as I said before, I think his temperament, I'm pretty confident he'll come back, rearing to go again. And it's something that we'll address with the training sergeants and obviously ease him back into things. So.
Can you describe what it was like for you? I mean, you say he's like a family or your family member. Yeah. When you realised it had happened, what was your reaction?
Oh, of course, straight away, it's not good to see your dog being stabbed. And the other coppers that were there from Elizabeth local service area was pretty hands-on and pretty hectic at the time, and got some first aid going pretty quickly, just trying to stop the blood flow. And then we rushed him up here and the vets took over.
So did you have fears for the worst?
Oh, of course, yeah. It's The one thing I was thankful was he didn't collapse or anything like that. He was conscious and breathing and everything else the whole way through. But obviously the injuries are quite serious. Yeah.
So he managed, in spite of his injuries, to do, as you said, what he was trying to do. He detained the guy. So could you just explain that?
Yeah, he did. Yep. I won't go too much into the details, but he certainly did as he's trained to do. He apprehended the man. Yep.